Okay, one more thing. The Falcons, they're coming up next on the schedule. When this came out, a lot of people were thinking this is an easy win, one of the more winnable games on the schedule. Even last week, I did this with my dad. Fred Warner goes down. This was the other day. This was Monday, hours before the Falcons play. Warner goes down. We're looking at the schedule. Okay, next week against the Falcons. Win. And then they go and not only beat the Bills, who a lot of people thought was the best team in football, they really beat them up. Outclassed the Bills, made the Bills look soft, beat up Josh Allen, which brings us to their matchup with the 49ers. The Niners are still expected to win. They're definitely favorites, but that's because the betting public knows the Niners and the Falcons are up and coming. So why is this a tough matchup? Well, it's a tough matchup in a lot of ways. One, Bijan Robinson might be the best running back in football right now. I mean, holy shit, he's good. So you got to stop him, not just as a runner, but as a receiver too. But I think the thing that makes this matchup so interesting is their defense. They bring a lot of pressure. They rush 5 frequently. They hit Josh Allen a lot. And it seems to me the best way to beat the Bills, if you can, is with quick passing. Not trying to play like Josh Allen. Not trying to run the ball and make outside linebackers miss, because the outside linebackers on this team are really fast, running 4.4s. Faster than Brock and Mac and Josh. So it seems like the best way to beat this team right now is quick passing, extended handoffs. Kind of like what the Niners did against the Rams. And that brings me to which quarterback's going to play. Earlier in the show, I hypothesized that I posited that if I were Brock Purdy, I'd be a little resentful at the organization for throwing me out there before I was ready, creating a quarterback controversy that wasn't necessary, and making me look like I'm not tough. So, should he come back and play against the Falcons? Sounds like they want him to. I mean, Mac's hurt. He's limping around. He didn't play that great against the Bucks. He made some beautiful throws, but he did throw 2 picks. You know, maybe his run's ending. We don't know. Can't afford to lose the Falcons. So maybe the Niners are once again saying, hey, Brock, we think you're healthy. It's a good week for you to come back. Just like they did against the Jaguars. Our doctors say you're healthy. So what are you gonna do? Well, is this a good week for Brock to come back? Even if he's 100% healthy, look what this defense just did to Josh Allen. And the thing about Brock, whether he has a toe injury or not, for whatever reason, every year he holds the ball longer on average than he did the year before. When he got into the league, he played a lot like Mac and Jimmy. Get the ball rocket fire in rhythm. Average time to throw about 2.8 seconds, which is a little bit longer than the league average, but still pretty, quick enough. And it was 2.9. Now it's more than 3. Only quarterbacks that hold the ball longer than Brock on average this year, like Justin Fields and JJ McCarthy, guys who don't seem to know what's going on. Brock's supposed to know what's going on. So if he plays like that against the Falcons and tries to be a playmaker and spin around, 1, he'll get hurt. 1, it won't work. They'll lose. And 2, he could re-injure his toe again. And if he loses to the Falcons, is that when the quarterback controversy starts? This feels like a very risky week for Brock to come back. You just saw what they did to Josh Allen. Are you really 100% healthy? You didn't practice at all last week. Maybe you need another week. And it'd be interesting, like, maybe Brock says, you know what? I followed your timeline the first time. I listened to your doctors the first time. Now it's on me. You guys tell me that I'm good. I'll let you know. And to me, that's the most important thing this week. Brock needs to stand up for himself. Brock, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, Brock. Brock, if you're not ready, say so. Because you're not doing the team any favors by playing if you're hurt. And even if they give you pressure, you got to do what's right for yourself and the team. even if the team doesn't know what's right for the team. And that's you not playing. Because even though I give you crap, Brock, I don't like your contract. They need you. You're a very good quarterback, as is Mac Jones. Mac Jones has about 3 injuries too. You guys are going to have to play a lot this year because the organization doesn't care about investing in the offensive line. Not your fault. So you got to be smart. You're the franchise. Protect yourself until you're ready to go. Because if this team has to start Adrian Martinez at any point, that's a bad look for everyone involved, not you, Brock. Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, C-O-H-N, and download the app now. So that would be my advice to Brock. Don't just play against the Falcons because the Niners need you to. If you're not ready, if you can't protect yourself the way you need to, if you think there's a risk of going out there and making the injury worse or having another setback, you got to tell them that you're not playing. And if they give you crap about it, that's life, man. You got to deal with it. That's my best advice for you, Brock. I'm on your side, man. You got to advocate for yourself, or I'll advocate for you. AK Niner says, a bunch of CBs tried out yesterday. Does that mean we could see more dime packages on third down? Could. Or it could mean that someone's injured. We don't know it. So let's see what happens at practice today. What's going on with Nick Martin? Is he injured? Asked Kilo TW. I addressed it. I think they don't think he's ready, but I disagree. I think he looked good in preseason and he improved so much. I think he needs to be out there. All-Star Luna. What's up, All-Star Luna? Says that's not how kickers work. You got to make your kicks or else you lose your job. Yeah, the Niners could say that. You know, we drafted Jake Moody. We gave him a bunch of chances. He couldn't do it. There's nothing we could have done differently. There's no lesson to learn here. That's possible. But if he goes to Chicago and does well, it's always good to be introspective. Hey, you know, we got Eddie Pinheiro and no harm, no foul, but maybe we examine this so it doesn't happen again. So we learned something. That's all I was talking about. If Moody goes to Chicago and works out, you got to go back and look at the culture of the Niners, the way that they scapegoat people. We've talked about it for years. There's always a scapegoat ready who's not in the clique, who wasn't invited to Cabo. And for years, it was this guy, whether he deserved it or not, he probably did. But kickers are mentally fragile. And once you put him in that scapegoat position, good luck. Good luck. Luckily for Eddie Pinheiro, he hasn't missed any kicks yet. He starts missing kicks, he's going to be in his head because of the culture here. Bill Kennedy says, anyone to blame when 10 players on field, Warner injury, has JJ broken fiber has been confirmed. Well, he said it. That's true. I didn't talk about that either. There were 10 men on the field when Fred Warner got injured. Apparently it was Trevis Gibson who was playing special teams. I guess it's what happens when Nick Bosa gets hurt and you got guys who really haven't been in the rotation. They're locked in on special teams and then boom, dude, no, you're starting now. So it's Trevis Gibson's fault, but I understand how you make that mistake. And I don't understand how Chris Kasarik didn't see it. What are you looking at? You got 4 players to watch, 4 every play, and one of them wasn't out there. You had 3 guys out there. Chris didn't say anything. I mean, I sort of understand. I guess I understand Kyle Shanahan not seeing it, but Kyle and Robert and Kasarik didn't see it. And then Fred Warner breaks his ankle. I'll tell you, if I were Fred Warner, I'd be pissed. Because injuries can feel, random and unfortunate. That one felt like negligent. Kilo TW says, is there a world where Jordan Watkins can take on the role of Debo in the offense? And could that have been Kyle's plan before all the injuries? No, I don't think Jordan Watkins is Debo. Maybe he can do some of that role. Like maybe he can give him the jet sweeps and end arounds that no one else is going to give. But I don't even know if he's going to play this year. Kyle doesn't like playing rookies. And Kendrick Bourne's balling. But if they trade Jawan Jennings and Ayuk, maybe they'll get him on the field. All right, guys, it's 9:06. I got to get the train down to Santa Clara. Thanks all you guys for watching. Got about 2,500 people in here. I hope what I said made sense. And again, if you're Kyle Shanahan or John Lynch and you're watching and you think that I was wrong, I was probably wrong. I'm doing my best to read the tea leaves. And I'm not a professional tea leaf reader, although I think I did a pretty good job today. The things I said made sense to me. Did they make sense to you? We'll see what happens. We'll learn more in the next few weeks, and this picture will become clear. For now, it was an interesting week in the sense that they're 4-2. They lost one game to maybe the best team in the NFC, and we saw a little bit of some cracks in the foundation, which maybe that's not surprising. You think a team with a coach, a team that's been together this long, should be really tight-knit, or maybe they're ready to break up. Some of these guys are. Stay tuned. I'll be back tonight, 6 o'clock, with Tyler. And at 5 o'clock on Four-Man Front. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do that this week. I think it's instead of doing live stream on Patreon, we're going to like record it and then post it as an unlisted thing. But I'll let you guys know. Boxing Fan Times 4 says this is what happens when you operate 2 years behind. It's true. Thanks, everyone. Peace.